Hello my fellow Toastmasters, this is Thomas Antolin again with the Division A District 39 Easy Speak Rollout Project, and this instructional is for weeks 3 and 4. First thing you'd want to do from your home page after logging in is go to My Participation and drop down to View My CL, ALB, or ALS Progress, depending on where you're at. What you want to do is get your manual, if you're working in the CL manual for example, and go ahead and select any of these buttons to indicate where you've been evaluated for any one of the speech projects in a specific role. For example, if you were evaluated as awe counter under listening and leadership, which is project 1 of the CL manual, then go ahead and select this pencil icon to edit that. And what you would do is simply select the month, day, and input the year and submit that for when you were evaluated out of your manual. Once you do that, your Vice President of Education can go back and verify that in the system. Now, you can input your leadership information, but your speech history has to be imported. So if you haven't done this yet, please get me or your Vice President of Education your speech history so that it can be imported into the system. Speaking of which, the next thing you would do after inputting your leadership information is go to My Participation again and drop down to View My CC Progress. This area here would cover your communication track, whether you're working in a competent communicator book or you're working in one of your advanced manuals. Here you can see that this person has many of the speeches from the past imported into the system, and hopefully you do too. What you would do is review where you're at in on your leadership track, your communication track, and based on where you're at and what you want to accomplish, go ahead and set a new goal for yourself. Up in this box here you'll see it says Educational Goals, and to the right you can click on this icon that says New Goal. Select that and then choose any one of the goals listed here, and then select one of the drop downs for the month, day, and year. In this case the year, you would have to actually highlight it and input that in as to when you would want to accomplish the specific goal that you chose. Now in this case, this person has set a goal, and it says here that in order to accomplish this goal, it would actually require a certain amount of weeks per speech. What you'll do is, based on your goal and the requirement, go ahead and request a speech. Select this button here called Request Speech, and then you would go to the workbook that you're working out of. If you're already in the system as working through certain manuals, then those manuals will show up. If your manual that you're working out of isn't showing up here, you can select from the drop down whatever that manual is, and then once it's in there you select that one, and then what will happen is it'll come up with the various projects within that manual that you can select. In addition to selecting the workbook and speech project, you would want to go to Preferred Dates. Here, based on your meeting schedule, you can select an available spot to speak. For example, in our meetings it shows here that November 3rd, that meeting is full with 4 speakers. However, November 10th is not full, so I could select to be a speaker on November 10th. I'm going to choose that as my first choice, or I can choose, if I don't get that spot, November 17th as my second choice, and if I don't get that spot, I can choose December 1st as my third choice. That is to say that the choices represent the preferred dates that I want to do the speech. They don't represent my speaking spot within the meeting. Okay, so that is how you request a speech, and once you do that, your Vice President of Education can then schedule you in to speak based on what you requested. So that is what you do for weeks 3 and 4, as well as what you did previously for weeks 1 and 2 for the easySpeak rollout.